Hey guys, I just wanted to go over a couple of examples of the problems on the worksheet today. So all of the things that we're going to be doing is simplifying square roots. So we're going to have problems that look like this, where we're going to have a square root of something underneath that, and we need to figure out how to simplify that. So in this case, the problem that's the example at the top of the worksheet is square root of 200 m squared n. Now, the way that we want to go about simplifying this is finding the perfect squares that are underneath the square root symbol and pulling them out in front. So in order to find the perfect squares, we also need to find all of the factors. So our factors of 200, we can break 200 into 2 times 100, and then we can break 100 into 10 times 10. So now we know that we have got 10 times 10 as a perfect square underneath our square root symbol. We also have m squared, and we know that m squared is m times m, so that is also a perfect square. So if I was going to write this out again with all of my factors, I would have the square root of 2 times 10 times 10 times m times m times n. So that would be the way that I could write out this problem using all of the factors of the problems that are underneath here, or the terms that are underneath here. So now I can look for my perfect squares. So I've got 2 in this case. I've got 10 times 10, or 10 squared, and I've got m times m, or m squared. So remember that if I have got the square root of 10 squared, that is going to be the same thing as just the number 10, because if I take the square root of a square, I'm left with the number that is underneath it. So that would be 10. Same thing with a variable. If I have the square root of m squared, that's going to give me just m. So I can take these perfect squares from my square root and pull those out in front. Give ourselves a little more room here. So I can pull my 10 and my m out in front because I've taken away the square root and the square. And now I have the pieces that are left underneath the square root, which in this case is going to be my 2 and my n. So my answer to this problem is going to be 10m times the square root of 2n. And that is the simplified version of my original problem here. Okay? All right, let's do one more. Let's take the square root, simplify the square root of 64x cubed. So we know from doing our work on perfect squares, we know that 64 is a perfect square of 8 times 8. And then we know that x cubed is made up of x times x times x. So in this case, I also have 2 perfect squares underneath my square root symbol. I have got 8 squared, and I have x squared. So just like in the previous example, I can take the square root of my square, which will give me 8 and x, and put those out in front of my square root symbol. And then I have to think about what do I have left underneath the square root symbol. And in this case, I just have this third x. And it's okay if I split up my variable and have part of it inside the square root and part of it outside. So in this case here, I pull my 8 and my x out front, and I'd have that third x left underneath the square root symbol. So I would have 8x times the square root of x as my answer for that problem. I hope that this helps you guys with this worksheet, and if you have any questions or want to go over any more problems, just send me a message and let me know, and I'm happy to walk through some stuff with you. Hope you guys are doing well.